By popular request, and through my own desire to discover more about this particular topic, this video is a follow-up to the sacred secretion video that I produced a few months ago. In that video, I described the enlightenment process, also known as spiritual awakening or the kundalini awakening, as outlined in Dr. George Carey's book titled God-Man. And I'll leave a link to that video in the description of this one for those who have not yet seen it. Here, I'm going to go into greater detail on how to achieve this type of self-realization by decoding this hidden esoteric knowledge even further, and by outlining the steps given to perform the ascension of the spiritual seed through the spine and its return to the head for a significant spiritual awakening. Spiritual rebirth is a profound experience that involves the activation of an energy force, often described as coiled serpent energy at the base of the spine. This powerful energy, once awakened, rises through the chakras, the energy centers in the body, leading to transformative spiritual growth and consciousness expansion. Dr. George W. Carey, who was an American physician, author, and lecturer in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, spoke in great detail about this process. He was a significant figure in the exploration of esoteric and metaphysical aspects of health, drawing connections between human physiology, spirituality, and ancient esoteric teachings. His groundbreaking work, God-Man, the Word Made Flesh, explores this esoteric knowledge, spiritual wisdom, and the symbiotic relationship between the human body and its divine potential. Within its pages is a profound understanding of the human body's inner workings in relation to spiritual enlightenment through alchemical knowledge, most notably the connection between the physical body and the divine essence within each individual. This work challenges conventional interpretations of ancient texts, particularly the Bible, and invites the reader to decode its symbolic references as a roadmap to self-realization and spiritual awakening. And I'm going to discuss how to go through this process and achieve this here. At the core of these teachings lies the concept that the human body is not merely a vessel, but a sacred temple housing immense potential. Rather than literal accounts of historical events, God-Man revolves around the understanding of Christ not as an external figure, but as a divine substance inherent within the human body. An oil, or ointment, residing primarily within the spinal cord, linking the body and spirit in a unique symbiosis. The transformative process outlines how this Christ essence rises, refines, and resurrects within the individual, creating a profound spiritual awakening. In other words, this interpretation of biblical narratives suggests that the stories of birth, death, and resurrection are allegorical representations of a transformative process occurring within the human body, an internal journey towards enlightenment. Central to this theory are the roles of the pineal and pituitary glands. As symbolic references, they are depicted as Joseph and Mary, the sources of the distinct fluids symbolizing spiritual rebirth within the solar plexus, the Bethlehem of the physical body. These fluids are golden melatonin, or what's referred to as honey, from the pineal gland, and oxytocin and vasopressin are what is referred to as milk from the pituitary gland, the land of milk and honey. These oils meet in the crucible of the skull, and this is commonly known as the sacred secretion. This process represents the birth of a spiritual child within, and there's an intricate role of these glands in channeling the divine essences to converge within the skull's crucible, symbolically referred to as Golgotha in the Bible. This convergence is considered the transformative and regenerative experience within the body known as spiritual awakening, a deeply internal process of transcendence and rebirth. During this cycle, the pineal gland, often referred to as the third eye or the center for spiritual insight and intuition, undergoes a potential period of activation. This gland is associated with enhanced intuition, spiritual awareness, and an increased receptiveness to spiritual insights. The pituitary gland, often symbolized as the complementary gland and considered Mary to the pineal's Joseph, is associated with its own set of secretions and functions. The pituitary gland plays a significant role in the regulation of various hormonal functions and contributes to the spiritual and physiological balance in conjunction with the pineal gland. According to these teachings, the activation of the process within the body occurs approximately every 29 days, and it's linked to astrological and lunar cycles. This activation corresponds with the cycle of the moon, which takes approximately 29.5 days to complete its phases. The moon moves around the zodiac, taking 1 month to visit all signs, and stays in each sign for an approximate 2 to 2.5 day period. The crucial point for this activation and the transformative process within the body aligns with the moon being in the sun sign, or what is commonly referred to as the zodiac sign, of an individual's birth every month. Again, if you have not seen the video that I already created about this transformative process, I encourage you to watch more about that so you can understand the process itself before moving on to how to activate it. But if you seek to align with the 29-day cycle based on astrology, you must first track the lunar phases to determine the 2-day period that the moon's going to be in the position of your birth sign. You can do this by looking up a moon phase calendar, and I've placed a link to one that I found in the description of this video. On the day that the moon returns to the same sign it occupied at your birth, your zodiac sign, there is an opportunity to engage in practices that support this activation and a spiritual awakening of the dormant divine potential residing within the human body, as it corresponds with specific changes or activations within the pineal and pituitary glands that influence spiritual and physiological states. The pursuit of spiritual rebirth, as noted in these symbolic esoteric teachings and within ancient wisdom, often involves a profound internal journey towards self-realization and transformation. While all will evolve into their own awakening, there are general practices and principles that individuals might consider engaging in as a way to unravel the deeper spiritual truths embedded within these texts and activate this process. I will discuss some of these practices here as I've learned them, and also give you a visualization process to direct this Christ essence energy up the spine and into the skull during the activation period. From a post that I found regarding the raising of the Christ oil, and I'll leave a link in the description of this video to that post, it states, "In Hindu practices, the raising of the kundalini and bursting the chakras in ascending order, while also abstaining from sex, alcohol, and animal eating, is firmly established in even the most basic practices. Alcohol, release of sexual fluids, eating acidic animal-based foods, riotous living, and hateful, angry, or otherwise non-peaceful attitudes are detrimental to this beautiful, precious oil that comes from the cerebrum." This post goes on to read, "Below is a simplified list of what to do when the moon is in your sun sign. Prepare as much as 1, 3, or more days in advance to welcome the seed with even greater purity. The 2.5-day period is the bare minimum. Draw, paint, write, listen to, or create music. Rest. Drink teas and plenty of water. Eat only a vegan diet. Meditate. Spend time with animals. Avoid alcohol. Be peaceful in your behavior. Avoid sex, especially the release of sexual fluids. Avoid overeating. Pray. Visualize your body, spinal column, solar plexus, brain, brainstem, pineal, and pituitary glands, preparing for the arrival of the Chrism seed in your solar plexus. Visualize your spine entwined with the kundalini and kundabuffer nerves, the tree of life, preparing to carry the seed back to the heavenly cranium. The thalamus can be visualized filling with light, which it may do automatically at some point over the 2.5 days. The thalamus is in the center of the inner brain and has the pineal gland, Joseph, behind it, and the pituitary gland, Mary, in front of it." Again, those are recommendations based on a post that I found. I had a lot of questions about how to actually go through this process, and I'm hoping that this video is going to address that. Also following is a visualization process to direct this energy force along the spine during the activation period that's mentioned. I recommend using this process along with the other points that are also just mentioned, and I'll move through this process a little more quickly here than you're going to want to do in your own time. But I might make this into a guided meditation if there are enough requests for that. Prepare yourself in a calm setting. Find a quiet and comfortable space where you can sit or lie down in a relaxed position. Ensure that you won't be disturbed for the duration of this practice. Start by taking a few deep breaths allowing your body to relax with each exhale. Focus on calming your mind and your body. Then you're going to want to focus on your spine. Visualize a glowing, warm energy at the base of your spine, which you're aiming to guide upwards. Next, you will raise the energy. With each inhale, imagine this energy gradually ascending upwards along your spine, traveling vertebrae by vertebrae. Visualize it as a glowing, vibrant force. As this energy rises, imagine it passing through and energizing each of your 7 chakra energy centers, starting from the base of your spine and moving up to your crown. Place emphasis on your ajna or third eye chakra associated with the pineal gland, which is located just between your eyebrows. As the energy reaches the top of your head, visualize it accumulating and gently expanding within your skull. Imagine it activating and stimulating the pineal gland and the brain, promoting a sense of heightened awareness and spiritual connection. You may even choose to imagine it moving out beyond your physical body from the skull. Once the energy reaches the top of your head, hold the visualization for a few moments, feeling the warmth and the vibrancy within your skull. Once you've done this, take a few moments to reflect on the experience and notice any sensations or feelings that you have encountered during the practice. You can then slowly return to your normal state of consciousness. The path to self-realization is a deeply personal and introspective process that requires dedication, discipline, and a profound understanding of one's inner self. It's a mystical journey that calls for seekers to not only study and understand the principles, but to also apply and embody these teachings in their daily lives, leading to a profound internal evolution and the realization of their divine potential.